It happens to every man. That moment when you lock eyes with her, and something inside you shifts. You feel seen, but not in a way you think. She's not looking at you, not the real you. She's staring at the man she believes you could become. That spark in her gaze? It's not love. It's projection. A silent demand for you to fit into a role she crafted long before you ever met. Carl Jung spent a lifetime mapping the dark corners of the human psyche, and what he uncovered about women will shake you to your core. This isn't some shallow dating advice. This is the uncomfortable truth about how women perceive men, and why most men never realize they're being manipulated by invisible forces. You think she chose you? Think again. She chose the idea of you. A fantasy, a character, a hollow outline she's been waiting to fill. And when you stop playing the part, that's when the mask slips. The warmth in her eyes cools. The admiration fades. Because the real you was never part of the script. This is the shocking reality Jung warned us about. Women don't fall for men. They fall for illusions. And if you don't understand the game, you'll spend your life chasing approval from someone who never truly wanted you, just the version of you they imagined. But here's the twist. This isn't about blaming women. It's about wake-up call for men. The moment you see the truth, everything changes. The power shifts. The game ends. And that's where the real journey begins. The animus and feminine projection. Jung called the animus the hidden masculine force living inside every woman. It's not a villain. It's a shadow, an unconscious blueprint of what she believes a man should be. And when this force goes unchecked, it distorts reality. She doesn't see you. She sees a reflection of her own unmet desires, her unhealed wounds, her unrealized dreams. This is why good men get discarded. This is why dangerous men get worshipped. The immature animus doesn't crave stability. It craves drama. It confuses chaos for passion, toxicity for strength. And if you're a man who refuses to play the role, you become invisible. Not because you're lacking, but because you don't fit the script. Jung described this as spiritual possession. A woman under the grip of an undeveloped animus doesn't even realize she's projecting. She'll argue with a conviction that doesn't match reality. She'll demand loyalty while chasing emotionally unavailable men. She'll claim she wants a nice guy, but recoil when he's too predictable. Why? Because her unconscious isn't drawn to safety, it's drawn to what feels familiar, even if it destroys her. And men, we fall for it. We mistake her hunger for validation as genuine interest. We twist ourselves into pretzels trying to become the man she claims to want, only to realize too late we were never the main character. We were just a stand-in for the man she's still imagining. But here's the truth she won't tell you. A woman who hasn't faced her own animus will always be at war with the men in her life. Not because men fail her, but because she's fighting a ghost, a fantasy, a version of masculinity she can't release, even as it burns her again and again. The crippling need for validation. The tragedy isn't that women project, it's that men accept it. We've been conditioned to believe our worth comes from female approval. We chase after their glances, their laughter, their praise like starving men begging for scraps. But Jung saw the danger in this hunger. He called it self-betrayal. Think about it. How many times have you dulled your edge to make her comfortable? How many dreams have you abandoned to fit into her vision of a stable man? We call it sacrifice, but it's self-erasure. And women can smell it. That desperation to be chosen? It's the fastest way to become replaceable. Jung warned that a man who outsources his identity to women becomes a puppet. His confidence lives and dies by her moods. His purpose shrinks to whatever role she assigns him. And when she moves on, he collapses. Not because he lost love, but because he never built a self that could exist without it. This is why nice guys finish last. It's not about kindness, it's about neediness. A man who molds himself to please women isn't virtuous. He's afraid. Afraid to stand alone. Afraid to disappoint. Afraid to demand his relationships be built on truth rather than convenient fictions. But here's the irony. The more you need her love, the less she respects you. Feminine attraction isn't about comfort, it's about tension. Not the toxic kind, but the magnetic pull of a man who is whole without her. A man who chooses her, but doesn't require her. That's when the game flips. The path of individuation. The way out isn't manipulation or bitterness. It's individuation. Jung's term for the brutal, beautiful work of becoming whole. This isn't about becoming invincible or emotionless. It's about pulling your soul back from the hands of others and saying, "This is mine." Most men never start this journey because it demands something terrifying: solitude. Not loneliness, but the willingness to sit in the fire of your own emptiness until you stop reaching for distractions. Until you stop blaming women for not filling a void they didn't create. This is where real masculinity is forged, not in the gym or the boardroom, but in the quiet moments when no one is applauding. Individuation means facing the parts of yourself you've buried. The wounded boy who still believes he's not enough. The angry man who resents women for his own cowardice. The dreamer who traded his vision for approval. You don't fix these pieces, you integrate them. You stop hiding from your shadows and start wielding them. That's when something shifts. Women stop being mirrors you beg for validation and become fellow travelers. Some will vanish, not because you failed, but because they only loved the version of you that depended on them. Jung was clear. This path isn't for the weak. It asks you to die before you die, to let every false identity burn until only the real man remains. And that man, he doesn't chase. He doesn't perform. He doesn't apologize for existing. The untethered man. When you stop performing, the world gets uncomfortable. People who once adored your compliance will call you cold. Women who fed on your neediness will accuse you of being distant. This isn't rejection, it's selection. You're no longer broadcasting desperation, and that terrifies those who profit from it. Jung warned that the individuated man is rarely celebrated. He's too real for a world running on illusions. He doesn't fit the categories. Not a nice guy begging for crumbs. Not a bad boy acting out trauma. Just a man who knows his worth isn't negotiable. Here's the paradox. The less you need love, the more it finds you. Not the performative, transactional kind, but something rarer. Women who've done their own work will recognize you instantly. Not as a project, but as an equal. The conversations change. The games end. What remains is raw, unguarded truth. But be warned, this isn't about getting laid or winning at dating. It's about something more dangerous: freedom. The freedom to walk away. The freedom to choose. The freedom to love without losing yourself. Most men will never taste it because they'd rather cling to familiar misery than face the terrifying unknown of their own potential. Jung's final lesson? The woman you're searching for out there is just a reflection of the wholeness you abandoned within. Find that first, and everything else follows. The mirror and the mastery. The final revelation changes everything. When you stop seeing women as salvation or adversaries, they become mirrors, showing you exactly where you're still incomplete. Her rejection? It's not about you. Her attraction? Not about you either. Both simply reflect where you stand on your journey. This is where most men get stuck forever. They either blame women for their pain, or they idolize them as the solution. Jung's genius was revealing the third path: sovereignty. The moment you realize no woman can give or take anything from your core being, the entire dynamic shifts. She becomes human, flawed, searching, just like you. Not a prize, not a predator. Just another soul navigating the same existential currents. The master key? Hold yourself to higher standards than you hold her. Demand more of your discipline than you demand of her loyalty. Cultivate deeper self-respect than you seek from her admiration. Build a life so compelling that her presence is a gift, not a necessity. This isn't attachment. It's the only foundation for real connection. The kind that doesn't collapse when storms hit. The kind that doesn't require masks or manipulation. The kind Jung himself called Hieros Gamos, the sacred marriage where two whole people choose each other daily, not out of lack, but abundance. The shocking truth? Most relationships are just two broken people playing out childhood wounds together. The revolutionary alternative? Two healed people building something neither could create alone. The alchemy of shadow work. The path forward isn't about changing women. It's about reclaiming your disowned power. Jung called this shadow work, the process of dragging your buried fragments into the light. Every time you suppress anger to keep the peace, hide ambition to avoid intimidating her, play dumb to stroke her ego, you hand another piece of your soul to the darkness. The irony? Women don't respect this. They sense the inauthenticity like blood in water. What terrifies them isn't your strength. It's your unwillingness to own it. Here's the alchemy. That rage you numb? It holds your boundaries. That hunger for success? It carries your purpose. That too much energy you dampen? It's your life force. Integrate these, and something miraculous happens. You stop attracting projects and start meeting partners. Women who've done their own work will meet you at this level. The rest? They'll fade like ghosts at dawn, not because you rejected them, but because you no longer feed their illusions. Jung's secret. The masculine isn't something you do, it's something you uncover. Strip away every performance, every mask, every desperate grab for validation, and what remains? That's the man you've been seeking all along. The invitation. This isn't theoretical. Your turning point starts now. Not when you find the right woman. Not when you magically feel ready. This is the uncomfortable truth Jung dedicated his life to exposing. You've been outsourcing your awakening. To her glance, to her approval, to her fleeting attention, while your real power languished, waiting for you to stop begging and start building. The choice is brutal in its simplicity. Continue the pantomime, trading authenticity for temporary validation, or face the terrifying liberation of becoming whole. There are no shortcuts, no 3 tricks to hack her psychology, just the raw, unglamorous work of self-confrontation. The irony? The moment you commit, truly commit, the entire universe rearranges. Women sense it. Opportunities emerge. Life stops happening to you and starts happening through you. This is Jung's final gift. The realization that everything you sought from her was always inside you. Not as a platitude, as physical reality. Your mission, should you choose it? Stop searching for mirrors and become the light source itself. The rest? It unfolds as it must. Enough theory. Enough analysis. This is where you decide. Will you be the man who consumes truth, nods, and scrolls away? Or the man who takes action? Here's your first move, right now. Pause. Ask yourself, where am I performing instead of living? Write it down. Name one way you've betrayed yourself to please others. Commit to one bold act of authenticity today, no matter how small. This isn't about fixing your love life. It's about resurrecting your sovereignty. Smash the like button if you're done being a puppet. Share this with one man who's still asleep. Subscribe, because this is just the beginning. The world doesn't need more nice guys or alpha males. It needs awake men. Will you be one? Drop I'm in below. Let's see who's serious.